I disguised myself as a male soldier in the army and captured the enemy general's son on the battlefield in Afghanistan. I shot him, but not because I hated him, because I couldn't let them know I loved him. My name is Elijah Park. Officially, I was listed as Private Eli Park of the U.S. Army, Alpha Unit, stationed near Kabul. But under the armor, my truth was buried deeper than any bullet wound. I was born an Omega, female-bodied, unwanted in a war of men. So I cut my hair, deepened my voice, bound my chest, and joined the fight not for patriotism, but for vengeance. My brother had died here, gunned down by the enemy commander, and I'd vowed I'd be the one to bring him down. The day I captured Caleb Mikhailov, everything began to unravel. He stumbled through the smoke, half limping, blood dripping from a shrapnel wound on his side. Tall, broad-shouldered, his fatigues hung loose but carried the insignia I recognized from every file I'd read. Son of General Viktor Mikhailov, ruthless, feared, and the architect of countless American deaths. My rifle was pointed straight at Caleb's head. One squeeze and I'd avenge my brother. But then he collapsed. I dragged him to safety, cursing myself the entire way. No one saw us in the dust and carnage. I stashed him in the ruins of a schoolhouse where I'd taken shelter during recon missions. He was unconscious for hours, and in those hours, my mission-me revenge turned into something far more dangerous. When he woke, the first thing he asked wasn't "Where am I?" but "Why didn't you kill me?" "I should have," I muttered. "You're the enemy." He gave a bitter smile. "Then why did you save me?" His eyes pale gray, like winter frost searched mine. I didn't answer, couldn't, because in those eyes, I saw something I wasn't ready to admit. He didn't want this war either. We were enemies by blood, not by choice. For the next 4 days, I treated his wounds in secret. I lied to my squad, stole supplies, risked everything. We talked about music, childhood, the taste of freedom we'd both forgotten. I never revealed who I really was. And yet, in every glance he gave me, I wondered if he knew, if he saw beyond the dirt and disguise. One night, during a sandstorm, he reached for my hand. "You're not like the others," he whispered. "You look at me like I'm still human." And I broke. I told him the truth. About my brother. About my disguise. About how I should hate him but I didn't. Couldn't. He didn't flinch. "My father made me enlist. He says it's to make a man of me, but all it's done is turn me into a ghost. I never wanted this war." That night, we kissed in the silence of bombs falling miles away. It was raw, terrifying, and tender. Two broken boys, one of whom wasn't really a boy at all, clinging to something real in a world built on lies. But the war doesn't care about love. The next morning, the schoolhouse was surrounded. I didn't know how, but someone had tracked us. Orders came fast. I was told to execute him on sight. He was too high value to risk extraction. I had a rifle. He was on his knees. "I won't run," Caleb said, calm as ever. "If this is how it ends, I want it to be your face I see last." I turned the rifle on my commanding officer instead. There was chaos, screaming, gunshots, blood. When it was over, Caleb and I were on the run, deserters with 1,000 miles of desert and danger ahead of us. We dressed him in civilian clothes, buried our identities, and fled toward the border. I didn't know where we'd goonly that I wasn't losing him. We made it to a UN checkpoint by pretending he was a wounded journalist. I forged documents, lied through my teeth, and gave up every ounce of the soldier I'd become. Weeks later, we made it to America. Illegally, quietly, together. We moved to a small town in New Mexico. I stopped binding, started healing, and Kalebi worked construction jobs, learned Spanish from our neighbors, and started painting again. We were two ghosts learning how to live. Sometimes, at night, I still wake up to the sound of explosions that aren't real. But then I feel his arms around me, hear his steady breathing, and I remember that we made it out. But peace didn't mean safety. 6 months after our escape, 2 men in dark suits showed up at our door. Intelligence officers. They knew everything. "We should arrest you both," one said. But here's the thing, we read your file. Both of them. They offered me a deal. Come work for them, special recon for cross-border missions. Use what I knew, what I'd seen. They'd wipe Caleb's record, give us new names, new lives. I looked at Caleb. What if I say no? Then we disappear again, he said. But we do it together. I said yes. Today I'm not a soldier. Not exactly. I'm something else. I work in shadows, in silence. And Caleb waits for me every time I come home. Love didn't fix the world. It didn't stop the war. But it saved us. And for now, that's enough. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.